underway. It's the battle of the TMP graduates. Let's see who will come out on top here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And they both said in chat that they're playing golf. So yeah, lowest score will win, of course. And Winter's winning at the moment because Cobra has 4 points. Anyway, let's go ahead and introduce our 2 players here. Starting out on the left-hand side with a overall NTSC PB of 5.28 million points, which in fact was done on a 29 start. He is a roller out of the United States of America and finished 3rd place last season in CTL Season 31. Got to the semifinals, went out to Blue Scooty. We'll be hoping to go one step further and try to get his first ever CTL Finals appearance. It is Cobra. And his opponent on the right-hand side with an overall NTSC PB of 2,131,000 points. She is a roller out of the United States of America in her Division 1 debut season. A fellow graduate of the Tetris with a non-pros scene. Has been rapidly rising through the divisions and now finally in the promised land. Already with a win to her name, looking to make it 2 for 3. It is Winter. Both players also received votes in the January 2026 Premier Poll. Cobra was ranked 7th out of all ranked players. Premier Poll, of course, is the community-based ranking from quote-unquote broadcasters and journalists, which essentially is just restreamers and tournament organizers, or both. Cobra ranked 7th in a ranking of the overall aggregation of 20 rankers. Winter just missed out on the top 25, but was ranked 26th. Got 50 votes overall, including from yours truly. Cobra on 139, Winter 204. Winter made her CTL debut in Season 25 and went back to back to back in terms of promotions from Div 5 all the way up to Div 2. And spent 3 seasons overall in Div 2. Made it to the playoffs in first season 30, but narrowly lost to Cole in a decider 4-3, but then went up in season 31 outright. Didn't have to go through the playoffs. And now is here in Div 1. Toast, thank you so much for the raid. Party of 2. GB Toast fellow CTL Super Streamer, Restreamer of the season for season 31. Broke my streak. Granted, I didn't stream CTL pretty much at all, but he broke it. It's well-deserved as well. Toast, great restreamer. Great community member, tournament organizer. He's hosting the Toastress Open later this month, which is kind of a indie regional tournament that's being hosted in Minnesota on, if I recall correctly, it's on Sunday the 25th. Yeah, Sunday 25th. And he's plugged it there. So if you're in the Minnesota area, or if you're willing to travel to play Tetris, there you go. Go to startgg/Toastress. I love seeing independent tournaments crop up. I mean, AIE Live, of course. My tournament is independent. Toastress, independent as well. And a few other ones cropping up as well, I've noticed. Cobra 419, Winter 384. Winter's up high here, but will keep that well open in column 3, and we'll get a Tetris and another Tetris there for Winter. Two great dirties there. They get as cold as minus 30 Celsius over the next 3 days. It only got to about minus like 11, 12 here in the UK. I don't know how I deal with minus 30, although from my experience, like the colder it gets, the sort of like cold doesn't scale as much as warmth does, I feel like. Like 0 degrees Celsius feels a lot colder, or like feels way colder than like plus 10 degrees. But I don't get much of a difference between like 0 Celsius and minus 10 Celsius, really. But yeah, that's rough. Cobra's on 643, Winter 562. Both these players also competed in the CTWC Gold bracket this year, or last year rather. Forgot it's 2026 now. Winter made it to round 1, but went out to Pixelandi, what was a real barnstormer of a match. Cobra made it all the way to the top 8 and only went out to Blue Scooty, which that season 31 semifinal was kind of a rematch of that. Ended the same, 3-1. Both players now on level 23. Cobra with a bit of cleanup to do at the moment, but is doing well so far. But Winter is starting to catch up in terms of that lead Cobra built up, and now it is pretty much neck and neck. 727 for Cobra, 722 for Winter. Tetris Winter, 759. Briefly took the lead there, but Cobra taking it right back, and Cobra will get the well open. Perfect timing of that bar for the Tetris. $834 now for Cobra, $825 for Winter, level 26. Oh, Winter missing the J-tuck there, but we'll get a bar right to stabilize the board somewhat, but not a nice thing to have, especially when you're chasing the game here. This Cobra is still ahead by about 2 Tetrises, so we'll see if Winter can get out of this quickly to not lose too much ground as we will be heading into 29 here shortly. Cobra 951, Winter 853. Winter adjusts the S piece there. Gets the double with the T. Both players have one more Tetris that they can get in the chamber before 29, and Winter will take it, 894, but double flips the S piece right away, and that's gonna be a fatal misflip there for Winter at 895. Cobra's on 999, and gets the max out. So Cobra will take game 1 here. GG's. 2-1 Tetris. Ooh, double flip again there for Winter with that S piece. Remember, double flip did take her out when she went into 29 in the last game here, so she will recover nicely this time, however. This is Cobra's 6th consecutive season in Division 1 since getting promoted in Season 25. Got promoted via playoff win versus Peekayric. And since then has 2 playoff appearances to his name, made it in Season 28, but went out in the first round to Dan V, and of course, last season as well. 218 for Cobra, 198 for Winter. Also during Cobra's rise up the divisions, did win the Season 24 Champions Summit, which is the Div 3 to 5 championship for all players who win a division that we host at the end of every season. Cobra 344, Winter 342. This line spin there for Cobra. It is gonna take the triple there. Now creating a bar dependency in column 3 there. Might try to open a column 3 well here if he can get another bar, but doesn't get it early enough. The S piece comes first, and he does have to put it there. But now going for the dirty Tetris in row 5, and it's gonna be a dirty Tetris there for Cobra. Now on 406, Winter 399. So pretty close between the two players here again. Ooh, Winter not getting that square piece all the way over left. Shouldn't affect board too much if she can get the pieces she needs to dig this out. Nice L tuck there. And we'll get another Tetris. An L, inverted L piece should be able to work as well, but now is able to, with that square piece tuck in the T, and will do so. Winter going into level 19 first here, now on 529. And Good burns here from Cobra, getting the well back open, getting a Tetris to go up to 573. And another Tetris will take the lead here for Cobra. Winter, now with a Tetris set up on column 9. And we'll get the Tetris. So getting those pieces over to the left, building out the left-hand side here, but now it's some further burns needed as there's a bit of a gash there in row 4. So Cobra now feeling the full force of this drop, but finally gets the bar to deal with the stack here, but now some holes forming in the board. Hoping to at least clear some of them away, but just drought after drought there. Cobra is ahead by 10 lines here, currently on 682. Winter 662. Tetris Winter 730. Cobra now responding again with another Tetris here. 781, 200 lines. And Cobra looking to increase the pressure here. Does have a J dependency on the left here, however. Gonna plug with a T. Tetris Cobra 850. Cobra again with the Tetris 894. Winter 838. And Cobra getting the board back down to the bottom here. Level 29 coming here shortly for Cobra. Is still 13 lines ahead of Winter here, but only with the Tetris and a half lead, so pace is pretty much identical. 967 for Cobra, now into 29, with a bar dependency here, though, in column 3. Fills it in. Back to work, keeping that board low. Winter with one more Tetris available to her before her 29 transition. Max out for Cobra here now. A19, 991 transition here for Winter, with Cobra now having a couple of misdrops here. He's in trouble, and he's gonna top out at A19. So Winter on A02 needs A20 to take game 2 here. Looks like no fuss approach here from Winter. One more line, and there it is, A20. Winter is going to take game 2. We are tied here, 1 apiece. Looks like Winter mullining this one. Ah, this is the 5 tap. Unfortunate, but was 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Oh, but both players with a bit of board trouble here early on, and Cobra especially gets that J piece over, but it's like a bad drought hitting both players and hitting their boards too. Cobra does get the board back down. But now just needs to hope that a bar comes at a good opportune time, which it didn't there that time. Both players still looking for their first Tetris about 20 lines in. But both have gotten the board back down to a much more manageable level. Tetris for Winter, finally. But Cobra, with a couple further misdrops here, does have the right side back open, but has to close with that L piece, which isn't going to burn anything. What's up, Ryan? Cobra getting his first Tetris 40 lines in, up to 57k, Winter 55. It has been a tough one for both players to manage, but both are still fighting through. Nice pullback there for Winter into column 8 with that bar. Cobra with the Vits. What are these seeds? Well, I mean, look at it this way. Diamonds form under pressure. And we'll see if these players can become diamonds. Or just rage at the lack of good pieces. Probably the latter. As Winter is showing us there. 175 for Cobra, 197 for Winter. Cobra's board again, getting into a bit of a tricky situation, but getting that dirty Tetris out of there, and now fully clean board again. Nice flip of that T piece last second there for Winter to make room for the square piece. Neck and neck so far from both players, and both seem to have recovered relatively well from their early troubles with this game 3. And just as an overview, in terms of this season and sort of every CTL season, we do have a championship playoff at the end of the regular league season where we get the top 3 from each division as well as the next 2 highest ranking players in terms of their final points tallies, and they will go into an 8-person playoff to determine the season champion. So every game matters, and every match matters as well. Obviously, still way too early to tell. Here are currently the candidates for getting into the playoffs, or what are the sort of pictures looking like, because we still have some players in Div 1 who haven't played yet. Especially so in Div 1B, although we are getting quite a few of those matches in the books this week. Our next show will be Saturday Showdown, which we hosted at 6 p.m. UTC this Saturday, the 24th. We'll have a Div 1A match between Akatu and SV, as well as Div 1B Hydrant and the CTL return of Sidnev. So stay tuned for that on Saturday. 446 for Cobra, 447 for Winter. It is practically neck and neck. Nice Corion thing there for Winter. Tetris Cobra, 501 but misdropping that L piece. Winter, it's not going to be too detrimental, but again, pace is the name of the game, and the more time you spend digging and not getting Tetrises, the more that gives your opponent an opportunity to pull away, and this makes your life more difficult as the lines and the levels roll past. Tetris Winter 507. Both players, Tetris ready, waiting on the bar. Both will get it. Simul Tetris, both players. Cobra with a bar dependency here. And now he's going to form a left well Tetris opportunity, a dirty left well Tetris opportunity at that. But now just waiting for the best pieces for that. Gets the bar right to open back up the left. Is that bar going to come for Cobra? That S piece won't burn. So Cobra having to take a few more burns here. Does get the well back open. There's the bar, but hangs the bar. Gets that bar over for a Tetris. Cobra avoiding disaster there. 725, Winter 685. And thank goodness for that second bar for Cobra there. But again, like last game, Cobra with a sizable amount of lines ahead, 216 to Winter's 204, so a 12-line deficit in favor of Winter here. Winter is, well, briefly had a dirty center well Tetris open, but now had to cover that. Looking to get it back open here, will do so. Cobra going into level 29 first here. 885 currently. Keeping the board nice and low. Getting some singles and doubles as they come. Again, you're probably not going to always go for Tetrises necessarily on 29 speeds, especially in comp. But if they arrive and you're able to get them, then that will be really beneficial. Winter with a really complex board going into level 29 here at 827. Sort of a nightmare scenario for her here. Does get the bar over with that 5-tap. Very nicely done here for Winter. But can she find the right pieces to get out of this? Okay. Oh, but, oh no, hangs the bar. And is she gonna be able to get anything else? She can't. Oh, that would have been such an amazing dig. But Winter's gonna top out here at 838. Cobra 967 is gonna take game 3 here. And it is 2-1. 4, 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Winter with a dirty Tetris setup to start here, but is going to burn it away. Now puts it back in. And we'll get a dirty Tetris to start here. Scooty's grandpa in the chat saying, "Go Cobra." Hope you're doing well today, Blue Scooty's grandpa. I almost said Cobra's grandpa. I mean, Scooty's grandpa is everyone's grandpa in the Tetris community, you know? Ooh, Winter with some last-second adjustments of a Z and then an S. Hey, he's not only Scooty's, he's Tetris's grandpa. But I hope you're doing well today, and I hope you're enjoying the stream so far. Ooh, Cobra. Cobra's in some trouble here. Gets the JPC he was looking for, now looking for another here in 2-3. Bar will work. And another bar will work to get the well back open. He is? Well, that's great. Cobra, 156. Winter with a dirty Tetris up to 182, so currently has the lead here. Oh, but a missed T-spin there for Cobra. Cobra still digging through here as Winter now has the lead and gets another Tetris to further lead here. 253 for Winter, 212 for Cobra. Cobra with an Aki bar there. And now with a Tetris up to 234. Also, hello, Oma Red Star. Good to see you. Thank you both for tuning in. Tetris, both players again. Winter first to 300k, another Tetris to go to 325. Tetris Cobra, Winter with an Aki bar here. Also getting a Tetris briefly. We just had a 2-point lead here in favor of Cobra. Tetris Cobra, Tetris for Winter as well. So we're about to hit 100 lines here once again. Must-win situation now for Winter. As she trails the set 2-1. It's best of 5, so Winter's first to 3 will take the set. What time do you have to go to work? I start at 9, so I mean it's almost 1 a.m. now. So yeah, after this, I'm gonna be heading to bed. Yeah, Fridays I start at 9. I do work from home 4 days a week, though, so my commute isn't exactly massive. You know, I mean, it's about a 30-second commute, you know, but it's very hard one. So, you know, I have to get up out of bed, my comfy bed, and I have to go walk to my office, which, you know, is across the corridor, and then turn on my work laptop, connect it up to my hub for my monitors. Super hard. Don't know how anyone could do it. Both players into level 19, 564 for Cobra, 565 for Winter. One singles, all that separates them so far. And this definitely has the feeling of a game that could really come down to the wire here and come down to those split-second decisions. You slept until noon today because us old people don't have anything else to do. I mean, you've absolutely earned it, Scooty's grandpa. You've earned it. I mean, when you've been working all your life, I guess. I mean, I'll probably find this out in about 40 years. You earned some sleep-ins, you've earned some naps, you've earned some late wake-ups. This is all, it's what we all work towards. We all work towards having that, so where you can Yeah, just catch up on the many sleepless nights you would have had. Yeah. $733 Cobra, $706 for Winter. I mean, the hope is there's still a scene, a classic Tetris scene in about 40 years, because I think when I retire, I'll probably just be doing this. Let's hope. Let's hope in 50 years from now, I'll be like, welcome to Classic Tetris League Season 92. Adam Irish Experience here. Your 27,000 time restreamer of the year. Maybe I'll be a cyborg by then. Doing 24-hour streams because I don't have tired. 864 Cobra, 834 for Winter. It gets boring as heck when there's nothing to do. I guess. I'm somebody that, like, who finds the joy in the little things. Like, it's very difficult to make me bored. Like, I will find enjoyment out of pretty much anything. You should become a CRT repair guy. That demand may increase a ton in 20 years. Yeah. And especially for this scene. Because, like, there's practically no one making them anymore, and, like, you know, like, the cost, and, like, there's gonna be more and more that are gonna break and need repairing. And, like, to keep especially the competitive scene here going, gotta keep those CRTs going, because otherwise, I mean, the only other alternative is we all go to emulators for tournaments, and that wouldn't be nice because of the delay, although most modern monitors and stuff should be able to keep up. And, of course, you also got, like, the Mr. devices as well, I think. So, like, I mean, sky's the limit with those. B43 for Cobra into 29. Winter has one more Tetris in the chamber. Cobra getting a Tetris B85. Winter A88. Yeah, maybe that will be the future, Wallpine. That's what I was thinking. Like, you could have a Mr. and, like, a gaming monitor, but those are crazy expensive, and it sort of wouldn't be feasible to, like, expect CTWC or whatever to just get a ton of Misters and all that. Although that could be an option if they ever go down in cost in the future. Oh, Winter in a bit of trouble there. Hangs a J piece, but does keep the board nice and low. Cobra is going for another Tetris here to keep the pressure up. As Cobra again looking to take the set with a win here. Gets a Tetris C75. Winter on B61. Winter's going for a Tetris herself here, and she'll get one to go up to 1.2. C91 to C04. Cobra going for another Tetris to go to 1.3. Will that bar come for Cobra? Yes, it will, but not in time. Winter double flips a bar there, but does get a burn to help do it. But Cobra's calling 4. Winter's in trouble here, and Winter's gonna be done! At C12. And Cobra at D56 is gonna take game number 4. And that will be the set going to Cobra 3-1. As he will be kicking off his season with a win. So your winner for this match, Cobra. Yeah, I can't imagine there would be 32 match for Division 1A. Best of luck to Violet and Alice. Let's get this underway. Count it down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And here we go. Thursday Thunder has begun. And let's see if any of these two can capture lightning in a ball with some incredible performances that we know both are capable of. Let's go ahead and introduce our players, starting off on our left-hand side with a PB of 1.66 million points. She is a roller from the United Kingdom. Beating in her first Div 1 season, was promoted to Division 1 on the back of a emphatic playoff victory in Season 30 against Portal, a match that went 4-3. I believe that also had a comeback victory for Violet in there. But yes, it is Floxy, it is Violet. And her opponent on the right-hand side here with a overall PP of 4.82 million, hybrid player out of Canada. Season 30 playoff participant. And this is her return since then. In Season 32 to take Season 31 off, hoping for a triumphant return back to the top 8. It is Alice. It is Knight. Whatever you want to call her. And this is the first time that these two players, I believe, are facing off against each other in a ELO-rated match, which you don't see a whole lot in the Div 1 sphere. Usually all these players have played each other countless times before, at least once. Especially when we get to the realm of players that are sort of in the conversation for Premier Pool rankings. I mean, I don't think Violet's ever been ranked before, but in the last Premier Pool, Knight was ranked 6th. 277 for Violet, 259 here for Alice. So currently neck and neck between these two players so far. And it has been a pretty rapid rise through the ranks of Classic Tetris for Violet. Only started competing in August of 2024. Her first CTL season was Season 27. She started out in Div 4 and got promoted back-to-back from Div 4 to Div 2. And only took 2 seasons to get out of Div 2 before going up in Season 30. Did take a season off to sort of hashtag get good. And now is ready to fight in Div 1. You're still looking for her first win, but I am sure it will come. 378 here for Violet, 361 for Alice. Violet also competed at CT UK in 2025, made it to the top 8. Going out to eventual finalist SV. Unapologetic plug here as well. She also finished 3rd place at my tournament, AIE Live. And finished in, well, not exactly the highest. I mean, she was playing DAS, to be fair. But went out in the 3rd round of the fundraiser tournament we did for that. Lost to Kingsman. So there you go. 499 for Violet, 457 for Alice. Again, Violet was playing DAS. Don't judge her. Even though she still probably should have swept the floor with King. We're not going to hold that against her. Well, that's a lie. Tetris for Violet, 546. Alice Tetris, 502. Ooh, Alice in a bit of trouble here. And that hole in column 5 is going to be pretty problematic for her. And it's going to be a hang of the J piece. It was going to be difficult always to get out of that. Alice tops out at 503. So Violet is going to take game 1 here. GG's. 4, 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Sunny Heps and Fort don't go into it. Yeah, that's true. But they still play Tetris. But yeah, like outside of those like sort of big four in Canada, like after Silly Shark, you have to go all the way down to still swirling Firedox for the next ranked player in Canada. Which I mean, Firedox is still very good player, rapidly rising player, and I'm sure will be a top player out of the Canadian scene. I mean, made it to C2WC Gold bracket, so is Adam booking a War Games match? No comment, King, no comment. I mean, we'll do War Games as long as we're able to get like a cameo from William Regal, you know, because we can't have a War Games match if he's not saying the line. Or maybe we'll just get some other like old British guy to do it. Like we could get Tenfu Ibis to say War Games, or like Dan V, because he's old, right? 122 for Violet, 138 for Alice. That actually makes me wonder, does William Regal have a cameo page? Because if he does, then I got a brilliant idea of spending my my money. Okay, as far as I'm aware, he does not. That's a shame. It's a shame to the world. Violet on 197, Alice 254. Violet going for a aggressive, dirty Tetris here. Kind of backs up at a corner when it comes to that. Gonna take a double here. Tetris Alice 307 now with about 100,000 point lead here. And Violet will get a Tetris of her own here. Building out the left side. Very nice, clean board here. Tetris, Violet, Alice with a bit of work to do. You'll call your contacts to WWE. Thank you, King. Thank you. Maybe we'll get you like a... Maybe you'll get a cameo. We gotta, at some point it's gotta happen, right? Like, once Classic Tetris eventually, like, blows up into this massive global entity, even bigger than, like, 2018, 2019, we gotta get Kingsman on... We gotta have the Kingsman cameo. And I have, like, the perfect idea. I got the perfect idea for that. So, Kingsman's gonna go in, he's gonna, like, pretend like he's Paul Heyman, and then he meets Paul Heyman, and because they kind of look alike, because they're both